defender drone detected. Manhunt now in effect.
Putting up a turret.
Hostile patrol detected. Vital signs critical. Rogue defender drone detected. Rogue agent eliminated. Agent down. Rogue agent neutral. Rogue agent neutralized nearby. DZ drop incoming. Neutral.
Nie wychylaj się, bym tak napierdał z masakra. No.
Ale z czego to jest?
Nie wiem właśnie, chcę się dowiedzieć.
On ma panel śmierci 3 razy chyba Sokołowa.
Contaminated gear detected.
No to jest zwykły fal.
An agent needs
Next
assistance. Rogue explosive seeker mine
Instant dead
detected.
pojedzie. Co ty?
Plecy.
Yo, what up my boys, you got bots. So finally been able to put some PvP clips in. There ain't that many. I'm not really playing like that at the moment. But yeah, as you can see, this build rocks. It absolutely beams. It's a build I use in PvP, and as everyone knows, I ain't showing you new and unique stuff. It's builds I run in PvP. Build them like I build them and slay. It's as simple as that. The build I'm showing today is a perfect spotter build. I'll run it with 2 blues. It's got damage to armor, it's got perfect vigilance, etc. This build's a little beast. You can take 2, 3, 4 players out. You drop the decoy, you flank about. It's just an absolute beast of a build, really. And yeah, so let's get on with it. So for my chest, once again, the closer chest, the perfect Yazina chest piece. I've got 149k armor on it, 6% crit chance, 12% crit damage, and a 12% crit damage mod. The talent, as you probably know by now, because a lot of my builds have this piece in it, is perfect spotter. Increases total weapon and skill damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. This thing is an absolute beast. It just slaps. It's like having glass cannon without the downfall of glass cannon. I've said it before in one of my videos. I see this chest as giving me 5% total armor, which is irrelevant on this build, but I see it as giving me that extra 5% amplified damage, which is an absolute beast. This build, this piece makes this build basically, and yeah, it just absolutely slaps. Got to run it with technician with the laser pointer. blah, 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 blah. So for my backpack, I'm running my first piece of Walker and Harris, giving me 5% weapon damage. I've got 15% weapon damage on it, 6% crit chance, 12% crit damage, 12% crit damage mod. And the talent you want in every single beam build, in my opinion, is Vigilance. Increases total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables this buff. But most of the time you're trying to go on a flank, you're dropping a decoy, you're trying to hit them before they even know you're there and melting them and just getting them out of the game. This talent is perfect for DPS builds. It's built for DPS builds. Use it. So for my mask, I've got one piece of Fenris, giving me 10% assault rifle damage. I've got 15% weapon damage on it, 12% crit damage, 6% crit chance, and 12% crit damage mod. Pretty self-explanatory really for a DPS build. Stack the crit damage. So for my holster, I've got my one piece of Seska, which gives me an extra 10% crit hit chance. I've gone for 15% weapon damage, 6% crit chance, and 12% crit damage. Now you can run another blue core on this, which is the same Seska holster, 170k armor, 6% crit chance, 12% crit damage. But in my opinion, it just melts with the two blues. With the three blues, you can face tank a little bit more. But yeah, try it out. You can't even go 1.9 million armor on this build if you really wanted to. So I've gone for the contractors, 50% weapon damage, 8% damage to armor, and that's why you put these named items in, and the 12% crit hit damage, 12% crit damage on it. Obviously these ones are LZ only, farm Petrov in the LZ, and these little things will drop for you at some point. In my opinion, the contractors are better than the foxes in this patch, just because a lot of players are sticking to cover, so the damage to targets out of cover, it doesn't apply. So you want to try and stack damage to armor instead of damage to targets out of cover, in my opinion. And once again, they are best in slot. But talking about best in slot, I haven't got the foxes in this build. The reason why is because I want that extra 6% crit hit chance, and I also want the damage to armor, giving me 5. This is the second piece of Walker, which gives me 5% damage to armor. Basically, I am losing 3% multiplicative damage. I understand that, but I'm gaining that damage to armor, which is against the people who are in cover. And as you see, it brings me up to 60% crit hit chance cap, which, in my opinion, it just melts. It's a damn sight better. So I've rolled 170k armor onto it. You could also keep it as weapon damage, depending on how many blues you want in the build. I've got 6% crit hit chance, and I've got 11.4% crit hit damage. So just as a comparison, as you can see, I've got the one piece Walker and the contractors in this build here. And I'm hitting base damage 300k and crit is 756k. Pretty standard really. But if I swap the one piece of Walker out for the foxes, I'm then hitting for 777k and 307. It's very minimal. But the way I look at it, most people are going to be in cover in this patch. You want that damage to armor, because at the end of the day, if they're in cover, you're not getting that damage to targets out of cover buff. So what's the point? And what I want from this build is the max 60% crit hit chance, which then makes me able to beam and hit them huge crit numbers easier. So I'll run the Walker on that, and it also gives me the damage to armor, which is better if they're in cover basically. And as you can see from the screen, it's constant crits, almost constant crits. I'm critting more than I am doing the base damage basically. So you crit more, you do the damage to armor, so the people who are in cover still take that multiplicative damage. To me personally, this is the best way of running this build. So for my gun, as usual, I'm running the FAL. I love this on the spotter builds. I love this on the DPS builds. Christ, I even love this gun on a tank build. It's got 15% assault rifle damage, 21% health damage, and 10% damage to targets out of cover. The reason why I use the FAL over the Kingbreaker is because it's got better accuracy, it's got better stability, and it's got better range basically. And for me, I can just control it a lot better. Obviously a reload speed of 2.3 seconds. As you can see, the accuracy and the stability there is just a beast. I have upgraded it to 17% weapon damage. and the talent I have on it is Flatline. Amplifies weapon damage by 15% to pulsed enemies. After 3 kills, applies pulse to the next enemy you hit. We all know what that talent does at the moment. The sight is 5% crit chance sight, a 20 round mag, the laser pointer to prop flatline and spotter, and a crit chance muzzle, basically bringing me up to the 60% crit chance cap. So this thing just absolutely beams, it's accurate, you can hit them headshots, it's just an absolute little legend. Now obviously you can run the Kingbreaker. In my opinion, I run this on my headshot build because it's like a laser on that, but if I'm honest, I can't seem to control the recoil as well as I can with the FAL. But once again, if you are going to run it, do it. It gives you perfect flatline, so it amplifies weapon damage by 20% rather than the 15%. On this gun, it's gold roll. I've got 15% assault rifle damage, 21% health damage, and 10% damage to targets out of cover. But as you can see there, the damage drop off compared to the FAL. The damage drops off halfway along what the FAL does. The FAL at range is an absolute beast. In the last patch, I was running the FAL with Ranger and people were screaming at me Cronus just because you're critting at 60 meters, the same as what you are up close. But yeah, so it's up to you. For my secondary, I run the M870 Express. I have one-tapped people on this build with this shotgun. They're trying to push you, you quickly whip this out, whack, they're dead. It's as simple as that. The talent, I've got flatline, I've got 10% damage to targets out of cover on it. It's a god roll little M870, and my talent is flatline, but it's 15% extra damage to pulse enemies. My pistol is an orbit. Run this pistol, don't run a purple pistol. I always say this in every one of my PvP videos, run this little pistol. Reason why, perfect finisher. Shoot a little NPC in the head, switch back to your primary, you gain 35% crit chance and 40% crit damage. Obviously that doesn't really matter in this build because you're 60% crit chance cap, but you get that extra 40% crit damage, which is a lot. That brings you up to 195% crit damage on this build, where it's seen as though this build's all about amplified damage and weapon damage. It's just an absolute beast. Run this pistol. Do not run a purple pistol, man. The amount of players that I see running a purple pistol, it's just, you're just sheep, mate. You're literally sheep. You're a mindless little fucking sheep. Get the fuck out. Anyway, so the stats on this build, 60% crit chance. Now the crit damage is slightly low on this build, but it's all about that amplified damage and amplifying your crit and blah blah blah. So 6% crit chance and 152% crit hit damage on the FAL, 75% headshot damage, 13% damage to armor, which in my opinion is better than damage to targets out of cover. I have got 10% damage to targets out of cover on my gun. Just because damage to armor is 6%, I ain't losing 4% over it. I've got 106% all weapon damage, 40% assault rifle damage, pretty usual stuff on builds like this basically. Specialisation I'm running, I'm not going to go through all the specialisation tree on this. I basically run technician. Reason why is because of the laser pointer and the +1 skill tier, that's it. Now the skills I run are decoy. The decoy is a little beast on DPS, and if you pair it with the pulse, it's just a legendary combination. You can put the decoy down, or even better, chuck it the opposite direction to what you're going. They're off on a little tangent trying to find your decoy. You then pulse, you can see them, they can't see you, and just melt them and put them down basically. It's a cool little combo. For some reason there it's showing the cooldown as 4, but it's obviously I'm in the firing range. And the pulse, as I say, I run it on mostly all my builds. I run it on tank builds, I run it on everything. So yeah, that's the build, guys. Basically 1.1 million armor. You can go 1.3, Christ almighty, you can even go a full-blown tank. Either way, set the build up like this and you'll be beaming them players, even if they're in cover, out of cover, whatever. This build absolutely rocks. And that's it, guys. Once again, like, comment, share and subscribe and all that fucking bullshit. Until next time, cheers.